Alright guys, I'm back from the range. I'm going to do some cleaning now. I'm not going to film the cleaning. You guys know how to clean pistols. Just got my cleaning material. So I'm going to get it cleaned up. And the Federal Champion 115 grain FMJs. They ran flawlessly. I don't know, I'd try to figure it out. I don't know how many rounds I have through this gun now. I probably have about close to 1,000 maybe, or so. And I have not had one issue. I had one issue, and that's whenever I took out the magazine disconnect. I took that out and then loaded around in the chamber. This gun's all completely safety checked or whatever. I loaded around in the chamber and then dropped out the mag, and that's the only time I had an issue. It was like a stovepipe or something. I forget really what it was. But that doesn't concern me because, number one, I'm not going to be shooting the gun without the mag a lot. And number two, I've heard that can happen. So I'm not really worried about that. So far, I mean, flawless, dude. I did another video that I might put up. I'm not sure if I want to put it up because I'm not sure how right it is what I did. But I did call a gunsmith, and he said that it's just a trigger job that I did on the SR9, and what I did is I took let me see if I can just take this apart real quick to show you, because I have to take the whole striker assembly apart and firing pin and crap. But come on, buddy. Oh yeah. Sometimes this pin is a pain in the ass to get out of here. Okay. See the spring that's right there? You press on this and it pushes the firing pin up. I was told, and also heard through the grapevine, that if you disassemble that spring and you cut off like one or two hold on. Sorry, there's someone at the door. Figures. What was I saying? Oh, the spring. I cut off one coil of the spring, and they said that you can. And I called a gunsmith, and he said, yeah, it will work. The thing is with the spring, it's like, I'll just use this as a reference. The spring is round all the way up, and then towards the tip it flattens out. Okay. And so I cut one coil off, and then I had to re-flatten it out so that it would catch, you know. And it did. I mean, it helped out with the trigger pull. It is a little bit lighter of a trigger pull. I wouldn't recommend this. Before I did this, I went ahead and ordered an extra spring from Ruger, just in case I screwed it up. So, and I tried it out today, and I ran about 250 rounds through it, and or not 250, how much? Like 150 rounds through it, and I had no problems with it. So, trigger feels nice. It's not real light, but I bet you it's like a 4.5 pounder maybe now. So yeah, I mean, it works. I wouldn't recommend it. If you do it, go ahead, you know what I mean? But make sure you order that spare part from Ruger, because it really sucks whenever one of your guns is just not working for a little bit. So, but like I said, man, I have not had any issues with this pistol whatsoever. It's been running flawlessly. I'm very, very happy with that. I did, at my range, I'm not allowed to shoot hollow points, but I snuck in a couple of them and shot them anyway. Keep that on the DL. I had to, man. I'm not going to drive through an hour and a half, whatever, to an outdoor range just to test out some hollow points. I mean, it's kind of bullcrap. You can't do it in the indoor range anyway. So I ran about 10-15 hollows through it. I know that's not a lot, but I mean, it did run flawlessly. And the ones that I was running are the Hornady Critical, or what is it? Hornady, just Hornady ammunition. It's 147 grain XTP, 9mm hollow points. So I ran those through. They ran flawlessly. It wasn't a lot, but it was enough for me. I'm gonna load up a little mag while I'm talking to you real quick, but I'm pretty much done anyway. But anyway, it was a good day at the range, and everything ran good, so I'm happy with that. And that's about it, guys. Next pistol I'm looking at is the Smith & Wesson M&P. So I really like the way that looks. I want to get it in 40, and I think that's about it. Oh, I told you that they're selling guns now, so that's pretty cool. I don't want to make this too long, so alright guys, take care and be safe out there. I'll check with you later, and that's about it. Peace, guys. Alright guys, I'm back. Actually, I'm only back because I'm in the middle of cleaning it, and I actually took it a step farther. I've done this before, but I actually took out, because this is getting so dirty and it's just hard to get to, I took out the whole trigger control and everything. So I'm going to get that cleaned up, and then, I mean, it takes apart and goes together the same way. I mean, you just take out all the pins, just make sure they go in the same way you took them out. But other than that, so I'm going to get that cleaned up, and maybe I'll show you putting that back in. Alright guys, there. Let me just show you this real quick. I'm using my pads. It's just so easier to get to all this plastic stuff under here, and it gets so grimy and dirty. So once you take out all this stuff, you can pretty much just go right in here and clean up all this crap inside the trigger guard, you know, back where the safeties are. So it comes in handy. And then you can take this and clean this all out, so you don't have to get way down in there, and get it nice and clean. So I'll show you, there's a trick to putting this back in, so I'll show you that whenever I come back. A couple more things, just one other thing before I put this together I want to point out to you. Is whenever you take this apart, so there's this little spring right here. Okay, this is like kind of magnetized, and it sits in here. So whenever you're cleaning it, make sure you don't lose that part. It's pretty important. It comes right out. There's nothing holding it in but the magnet, so just want to point that out. I'll be back when I'm putting it together. Alright, I'm going to start putting it back together, and I'll show you the little trick here. Be patient when you're doing this, guys, because I wasn't my first time, and I almost had a little freak out session. Now, I know you don't have to do this all the time, okay, but I like to do it every once in a while, just because there's a lot of dirt and grime that gets in here that you just can't get to otherwise, you know. So I mean, you can't, it's hard to get down into these parts without taking this thing out. So what I like to do is just, I have my whatchamacallit, what the hell are these things called? Every time I do a video I forget what stuff's called. My pins. God, I have everything set up. You're going to put this part in first, and then this will hopefully should slide in right behind it. Make sure you got that pin on there. Okay? So, just nice and gently, might be out of frame right here, but okay. So you just want to get this to slide back in. You have to make sure all these holes line up too. Okay. Nice and easy. Take your time. Sometimes it doesn't go in right the first time. You just gotta take it easy with it, you know. Okay. Okay, hold on one second. Okay, sorry guys. I had a lot of trouble with that. let's see if I can get this, show you this. There's a spring right here, came out of place, and I was having trouble getting it back in. But the main thing I wanted to show you was, in order to line up these holes, in order to put this thing back in, the trigger has to be to the backwards position. And then once you get it back in, you'll notice that your holes aren't lined up. So don't freak out. Just put your trigger in the forward position, and then it just pops right back in. Alright? I almost had a little freak out session because that spring. That's why I don't like to do this a lot, but you have to once it gets so dirty. As long as you take your time and you pay attention to what you're doing, then everything should go off without a hitch. Okay? So it's back in. I'm going to lubricate everything, put it back together, and we'll do a final function check, and I'll be right back for that. Alright? All back together, nice and lubed up. Just do a little functionality check. Where mags go. Some snap caps in here. Oh, look at that. Yeah, you'll have that with snap caps. Really? Interesting. Now it's working. I just wasn't giving it enough force. So, that's it, guys. Back working. That's how I clean my gun when I come home from the range. So, well, not all the time. I don't always take that crap apart, but if you want to do it, that's how you do it. That's all I got. Alright, guys, till next time. Take care and be safe out there. Later.